We're back, our Bernalillo County segment here on the Morning Brew, because we've got Bernco Bernie right out there standing proud, right, Colleen?
Bernie's with us this morning.
He is. I want you to re-meet Colleen McRoberts. She is in charge of the open space program for Bernalillo County. So inventive, the stuff you guys do, and today is no exception. With us also on the couch is Valdez, Ph.D. wildlife biologist with the University of New Mexico. Ernie, good to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Thanks
good
for
to have
having
you here. And it's all about bats because it's Halloween.
Yeah, that's right, bats. We actually have a huge lineup of events at Bikeki this weekend, starting with Friday night, where we're going to be doing an exhibition with Harwood Arts Center called Lines, Time, and Space, starting at 4:30. Saturday, we have a family program that's going to be living off the land with Cottonwood Gulch for young ones to come out and explore how we live off the land, where does our water come from, where does our food come from, exploring those kinds of topics.
Nice.
And then Sunday in the morning, we have a traditional plant walk, and we're going to be talking about how to use plants, how they've traditionally been used for medicine, for dyes, those kinds of things. And then we're capping it all off with Ernie talking about bats for the Halloween spirit. Maybe we'll even talk a little bit about vampire bats.
Now, bats, Ernie, are misunderstood little critters, aren't they?
They sure are. They are getting a bad rap, and they're very beneficial to the environment.
If they weren't out there eating the bugs, we'd be overrun, right?
Yes, and we would be paying a lot in produce because they offset a lot of the pesticides that are being implemented on crops. So they have a major impact on crop pests.
So, do we have a lot of bats around here?
For New Mexico, we have 28 different species.
Really?
28 different species and thousands of bats. So yeah, the area here of the Southwest is very diverse in species. So it's pretty amazing.
And where can
we have 28 different species, is that correct?
28 different species. 3 of them are nectar feeders. Most of them are insect feeders or insectivorous.
How can we help support the bats here?
You know, I think being aware of where they're at and being cognizant of what kind of benefits they produce or help agriculture. There are a variety of threats that are out there right now, particularly the white nose syndrome that's in the eastern U.S. And it's taking out bats by the millions, and it's moving westward. And
it's like a bat flu bug, basically.
It's an invasive species. It's a fungus. It's very similar to chytrid fungus that's affecting frogs and herps. So it's a fungus that's moving westward, and there's no cure for it. So that's one of those things that we want to be aware with the conservation of bats, producing habitat that's available for them. Water is a big issue for them as well.
So where are we going to find our bats around here? Where do they mostly congregate?
They occupy a variety of habitats. They're in the mountains, they're in the lowlands, but water is a big factor for bats. They really rely on water resources such as the Rio Grande. And the Bosque area is a very popular spot for bats.
Is there a good spot to go and view them?
You know, I think if you're walking and you're aware of what's around, right around dusk, you'll see them. In the Bosque, they're flying around. Around water.
Around dusk, they go to work, don't they?
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. They're clocking in. You know, the birds clock out and the bats clock in. So yeah, they're ready to go.
I've had the experience before, my husband and I, being on the river in a canoe with right at dusk, and all of a sudden the bats come in and, you know, swooping right next to us. It's the coolest experience, just a ton of them coming in to eat the insects, which, you know, I'm pretty grateful for. And they didn't get in my hair. They didn't. They have that cool thing called echolocation.
Absolutely.
So they know where they're going.
Absolutely. And I think that's one of the misconceptions that people think bats are going to get into your hair, but they don't. If they can detect a small insect, they can easily detect a human.
Yeah, they can avoid your head.
They can easily avoid your hair. They don't get tangled. But they are flying around because they are curious animals. They also fly around you because you're attracting certain insects. So they're taking advantage of that.
They're only interested in the bugs, not
absolutely.
you.
Absolutely, yes.
So your presentation is going to be October 26th, 3:30 to 5 at Bikeki Open Space, and probably have some pictures of bats and stuff like that.
Well, pictures and some actual preserved samples of the different types of bats, which is really neat because it gives you an up-close opportunity to see some of the really neat features of bats with elongated nose or huge ears, and you know, some of them have adapted to these particular niches where they've developed in very interesting ways, so you'll get a chance to see that. And we have door prizes for folks who want to dress up as their favorite bat. We're going to have some fun prizes, so that's also...
Batman may show up.
You know, Batman shows up, he definitely gets a prize. I was telling Ernie that he's really the real Batman.
You are the Batman. Wow, this sounds fun. You always come up with inventive things, and I love this. So it's all weekend, basically, at Bikeki Open Space.
Yeah, all weekend at Bikeki. And we actually have one more added thing, which is at Carlito Springs. If people want to come out on Saturday from 1 to 3, we'll be doing a program there talking about orchards and gardens.
Oh, good.
Wow. Which we can show off because that place has beautiful orchards and
Bernalillo County website has all the details.
Yes. Register,
Ernie,
please.
It's great to meet you, Ernie. It really is. Thanks.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Anytime you want to come back, love to discuss animals with you.
Absolutely.
All right. Very good. Well, there you have it. Colleen McRoberts with Bernalillo County Open Space, and Ernie Valdez from UNM. He is a wildlife biologist. We'll be back with more on the Brew after this.